Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Bobby Pominville, and I'm your reporter on the arts. And I have a lot of art to talk about today. It's the art of storytelling. It's a new subject for me, and I hope you enjoy the show. So I want to introduce you to my wonderful panel. On my left, I have Pastor Kendra Grahams. And next to her is Pastor Kendra Grahams is at the First Presbyterian Church in Hudson. And next to her is Shelly Tougas, and she is the head librarian. I don't know if that's a term they use.
Library director.
Library director at the public library in Hudson.
Yes.
We're all in Hudson, by the way, sort of catch on to that. And on my right, the token male is Ben Thietje.
That's right.
I finally got his name right. It's taken me a couple of years. But he is the executive director
That's right.
at the Phipps Center for the Arts, where I'm very active. And I think I've been on the music council for 2 or 3 generations, but whatever. Okay, we're not talking about that today. We are going to talk about a subject that I found very interesting, the art of storytelling, because there's going to be a chance for you to go to a workshop or a series. And we'll talk more about that later, June 8th, I'll say. So I'm going to call on Kendra first. Pastor Kendra, I think you were the one that pursued the art of storytelling. And I'd like you to tell me how you got a hold of the concept and how you thought it might work in Hudson.
Yeah, well, it started with a dream. Our congregation is celebrating 170 years this year, and so we were talking about ways to spark joy and renewal and what that might look like for our congregation. And one of the ideas that came up is, well, what about if we learn more about the art of storytelling? Creativity and art in various forms has always been of interest to the congregation, and so that sparked an idea and did a little networking to find someone who could facilitate conversations and did some more dreaming about how that might be a good resource, not just for our congregation to learn more about the art of storytelling, but for our whole community. Because we are always looking to collaborate, and thought that the library and the Phipps would be great opportunities to work together to present this opportunity to learn more about the art of storytelling for the entire Hudson community.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I was interested right away because obviously I like to talk and express myself, and I just found these 3 perfect fit for it. I mean, everybody has to do a little bit of storytelling maybe in their life or their work. And so I was interested right away. You tapped into me. So who is the person who's going to lead the sessions?
Well, I can speak to that briefly. Our facilitator, her name is Andrea Roski Metcalf. She is local to the Twin Cities, currently lives in South Minneapolis. She's a pastor, she's a Lutheran pastor, but we all try to get along, right? But she, more to the point for this, is herself a Moth storytelling champion. So she's participated in Moth storytelling in the Twin Cities, really has practiced this art of storytelling, of sharing personal stories to help people connect through various mediums, and has for a number of years for various community groups then facilitated workshops on the art of storytelling. So it was great to invite her in, and we don't even have to pay airline fees because she's local. So
well, and you've arranged it so well that you've got 3 people who are pretty important in Hudson, including yourself, of course, that are tapping into this and they're hosting, you might say.
Yes, so that's one of the great collaborations is to have Shelly in the library and Ben and the Phipps and all of their great networks to help us find people like you that are interested and can also benefit.
So the cable channel is really happy to have me talk about this. And I found that I really like that storytelling bit. So it's important in my life. I can imagine you do it. And then I could not believe how many books are available. So there's Shelly. And then I think Ben does a lot of storytelling over there at the Phipps.
No, not very often. All the time, Bobby, all the time. That's all we do.
And you're an actor.
Well, yes, I don't do that as much as I used to, but yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's really important then. So great job. Oh, I love it. Okay, now we're going to move on to Shelly. She is at the library, and I just wondered, how does this workshop fit the mission of the library?
Well, officially our mission is to connect people to information, services, culture, lifelong learning, and each other. And I think that's the real important part, particularly in this day and age when we're losing connections because of social media is part of it. And, we're in a very tense political environment also. So, but we're a building full of stories. And as a youth librarian, I started in youth services. What an incredible way fiction is to teach empathy to children. I don't know that it's really a natural thing for some kids. And fiction, some people would call it character education, some is learning perspective, developing empathy, is through story, because you get to see characters, whether they're bunnies or people or pencils or crayons, in situations where they make mistakes or they face challenges or they have conflict, and learn how to deal with it. So stories start from the very youngest age, from the moment kids, babies, are starting to hear language. And that's a huge part of what we do.
Yes. And I must say, you have so many wonderful programs over there.
Thank you.
I looked through your website when I was looking for the art of storytelling. I was going through pages and pages, and it was really very well organized and really the subjects I like, and that drew me in. So
Wonderful.
well,
Glad
thank
to
you.
hear that, yeah.
Thank you. And on my right, I have Ben. I've had him here before, and today we're talking a little different thing, huh?
Yeah.
But you'll
Little bit.
come back. We'll talk about the programming
Sure.
at the Phipps.
Anytime.
Excellent. So now you get the same question. How does this workshop fit the mission of the Phipps?
Well, this is sort of right in the Phipps wheelhouse because our mission focuses on music, theater, dance, visual arts, and all of those things are a vehicle for storytelling. We tell stories through all of those different disciplines. So sort of having this more distilled down version of storytelling is really exciting for us because it's what we do all the time. And it's just really exciting to collaborate with a couple of local organizations and just have, utilize the Phipps the way that it was meant to be utilized for community gathering and storytelling. It's going to be exciting.
That's right. I love that you're involved. I kind of went, okay, now why would Ben be here? But there's a big connection, and you were formerly an actor, and you directed another art center before you came to Hudson.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
So you have a lot of experience, and I think we've got your expertise right now.
I'm here to help. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. And you're actually going to provide the site.
Yeah. We'll provide the venue for the workshops and the actual performance, the slam portion. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, and I think it's my favorite room almost at the Phipps.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The music studio.
Music studio is that's where we'll have the workshops. Yes, and then the final one will be in the black box. So It's perfect. It's
I
all
didn't
right
know that.
there. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, excellent. So now we really should give the date. Maybe I'll go back to Kendra.
Yeah, so as Ben was just alluding to, we're kicking off what is a series, but if you can't make it to all of them, no worries. But the kickoff is going to be on June 8th. So it's a Sunday in the afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock. We'll have about a 90-minute intro workshop. So if you're like, what is the art of storytelling? How might this be helpful to me? Because really, you know, we all tell stories, but sometimes we don't immediately connect with how it might be helpful. So this is a great opportunity to come and just learn more for this initial workshop. And then we'll be looping back in the fall with 3 more kind of workshop type sessions. One that will drill into, like, here are tips and tricks. If you're preparing to share a personal story, here are some tips and tricks to help select that story, craft that story. We'll have a couple of sessions where people from our community will be able to share a story, you know, in the safe space of people who are wanting to learn more and get some immediate feedback so that they can learn more about shaping their stories. And everybody, right, like, you know, we learn by doing and practicing. And so I'm really excited that that's kind of the model we're taking, right? Like, not just hearing from other people, but like, okay, here's some tips. Let's try that out. Let's see how those apply. And then, as Ben was saying, we're really excited to be able to wrap it all up with a story slam in the black box where people will be able to share their stories. We'll have a guest musician to help kind of make it a fun MC night with some refreshments, right? Just to bring the community together, which I think is one of the things I'm most excited about, is not only that we get to collaborate as organizations, but all around this idea of connecting people, building empathy, and whatnot. So that's kind of the trajectory. So we hope people will come on June 8th, but if for whatever reason that doesn't work, keep an eye out and join us in the fall, or certainly for the Story Slam all the way on November 2nd, if people are already marking their calendars.
Oh, it goes through November 2nd.
Yep, so that'll be our Story Slam is in
so-
November. Yep.
So now you're starting June 8th, 4 to 5:30 p.m.
Yes.
And then where are you going next? Do you know?
So they'll all, as Ben was saying, they will all be at the Phipps. We wanted it to be at a space that, you know, is easily recognizable, come park across the street, so that it's as accessible and familiar to as many people. So all the sessions will be there, and we'll share certainly on the 8th, you know, more about the other sessions, but also look at all of our websites and mailers and whatnot. We'll get those dates out in the fall as well to remind people.
So I've already signed up.
Great.
And so it was very easy to find on my phone because I'm Googling story. I think I got it on the Presbyterian Church site. You had it too.
Yeah.
I think it's on the Phipps as well. I don't know.
I'll double check. If
I
it's not,
can't-
we'll get it on there.
I can't, I think it might be coming up
Okay.
next
Yeah.
because you've got so much going on, you know. But anyway, I signed up for it and it says interested. You can click on that, or going. And so several people, in fact, I even recognize the names. So I know it's going to draw the community. And you know what? It's such a positive. It's one of the things that you can go to and kind of reminisce about some of it you might have done yourself, or you're interested in doing more, or even perfecting your storytelling. And so I think that's what it's going to be really neat. And I love that you all are drawing the community together.
And we all have stories to tell.
There's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always just comedians. It really crosses a lot of subjects and a lot of people's work and all kinds of things like that. So you know what? I'm excited. And there is a poster out. I'm quite sure that it will be shown on the screen while you're watching this. And it's very catchy, and I imagine it's around town. Yeah, so perfect. Well, is there anything we forgot? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I want to thank Kendra for inviting us to be part of this. And, as community organizations, we all want a stronger, happier Hudson. And when we can work together, we maximize resources and we're not duplicating, and we just provide better programs and services.
And I think this is so important for the written word and improvising. And I know in my job I had to draw them in all the time. And I was doing a little bit of that storytelling at all different levels, K through 5.
Yeah.
And then for a while it was middle school, and a while it was high school. So that was a little different way of storytelling.
Oh, definitely.
I had to adjust wherever I was going. If the morning was at the high school, the afternoon was at the elementary. And of course, you talk to them entirely differently than you would high school choirs. But anyway, I'm very excited for it.
Thanks.
I think it's going to be a real positive. And I thank all of you for coming today and coordinating with my schedule. And of course, I was right away impressed. And I said to Nate right away, I'd love to do interview with them. So thank you again for coming. And now I want to thank the audience for watching, and look for that poster, look for the different websites of these people in town that are so important to our community. And think about coming. I hope I see you there.